Hello everyone, this is Sandy with Sandy's Crafty Creations. Please excuse my voice, I have a little bit of a cold, so it may sound a little bit different. But today we're going to start on my January tutorial project, and I'm going to share with you how I make a book for my Christmas cards. I've put about 2 years of cards in each book, and I've done this for the past, I have a 2011 and 12, 2010 and 2011, 2012, 2013, and so I'm going to make a new one for my 2014 and 2015 cards. So this is the 2010 and 2011 book, and this is what I call an open spine book. We're going to create the cover and the back and the pages, and so I've got everything pre-cut for you to start on this. So first what you need 2 pieces of chipboard cardboard. I'm using black here. You can use the craft color. If you need to use cereal boxes, you need to glue them together because you're going to need a thicker cover and back. So I need 2 of these that are 9 inches tall by 6.5 wide. That's 9 inches tall by 6.5 wide. And then you're going to need, for your pages, you're going to need 12 because we're going to have 24 pages counting front and back. So you need 12 out of a Christmas colored cardstock, any color you want. If you want to use black, that's fine. Craft is fine. I'm using red. You can use green, whatever color you want in your book. I tend to use red a lot. So I have 12 of these cut, and they're 6 inches wide by 8.5 tall. 6 inches wide by 8.5 tall. So you need 12 of those. Then you need your little hinges. We're going to do hinges to attach these pages together. And I have cut, I may have a few extra, but I've cut, you need 13 that are 8.5 tall, the height of your page, by 1 inch wide. 8.5 tall by 1 inch wide, and then you will score them with your scoreboard down the center so that you have a 1/2 inch on each side. So this is what the hinge is going to look like. In my earlier books I did the wider hinges. I did a 1 inch and 1 inch, which took more adhesive, so I've decided to cut it down to just a 1 inch strip, fold in half, so we have a 1/2 inch on each side. So we have those, and for my cover, I decided to go with this Reminisce Dear Santa collection that I've had. It's a thinner paper, so I hope it's going to work okay for me. I wanted the vintage look on this one. So I cut 2, one for the front and one for the back, for the front and back covers. And these are 8 inches wide by 10.5 tall. We're going to wrap these cover pieces. Make sure you pay attention to the direction of your pattern, as you want the tall part with your pattern looking like this. So this is the 10 inch side, 10.5 by 8. So let me repeat that. You need 2, 8 inches wide by 10.5 tall. Then you also need, for the inside of the cover, you need 2 more pieces of paper, and you can use 1 sheet of cards pattern paper, and I cut this one in half, so you need 2 that are 6 inches wide by 8.75 tall. So we have those. I'm going to set those aside, and these papers aside, and then we'll get ready to start assembling. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take all my hinges, and where I've scored them, I'm going to burnish them with my bone folder to get a good score line on all of these. So you want to do that. So when you're scoring, if you'll notice, you have the indentation side or the valley, and then you have the raised or the mountain side. So fold into that mountain, the raised side. It's easier to fold that way, and just score each one. So I'm going to do a few here on the camera, and then I'm going to turn it off, and I'll keep doing these and get them all prepped and ready. And also, take your 3/8 inch score tape, and you will apply tape to each side of the hinge. Don't put it over your fold line though, so that's why I'm using 3/8 on this 1/2 inch hinge. So you flip it over and you do it on both sides. This is what's going to attach our pages together. Even though we have an open hinge binding side, the pages have to be stuck together. So once you've scored these, burnished and scored these together, the fold line, then put 2 pieces of tape like that, and make sure you don't put it on your fold line. So I'm going to do that off camera and get all this ready. So I have the score tape, 3/8 inch score tape on all of the hinges, just on the one side, on each side of the fold. So it looks like this. And we're going to start with one of the pages. So an easy way to do this, because you want to line them up pretty straight, is on the, hold your hinge like this and peel back a little bit and fold that towards the outer edge. I was just checking, double checking. Now you're going to take the fold of your hinge and you're going to place it with the fold along the cut edge of one side. And because we don't have the backing pulled off, we can line it up all the way across. Make sure it's lined up, even if you have to pick it up and look at it. So you want to make sure it's as straight as possible. Then hold this and take your tape and holding it down, just peel that off. And so you should have that right along the edge. So that's one hinge on the first page. Then we take the second one and we're going to line it up. Because these are flat pages, we don't have any gussets between this because we're just using these books for our cards, so we don't add any space between the pages for heavy embellishments, because I don't put any in. Now if you're wanting heavier embellishments in your book, you might want to add a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch gusset in between these, so you would have to do different type of hinges. But for this book I do them flat. So I'm going to just peel this off this way. I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing because I think I can hold this straight enough, lined up, and just fold it over. And we have the first and second page attached together. So then we fold it shut. And we're going to take another hinge and we're going to add it to the back of this one the same way. We're just going to peel off part of it, the top, on the right side of the hinge. Here's the fold, here's the edge. Fold that over so it sticks out. And line this up along the, now you have the, it's still the cut edge of it, but now we have like a fold. So this is the spine edge, so line that up. Get it just as straight on the edge as you can. And then we're going to check it, and then we're going to peel this off. Whoops. Well, that one peeled off on its own. So I'm going to do it on this end a little bit. Just tore right in half for some unknown reason. So still want to make sure it's lined up. And now I'm going to peel that off. So now we have the, still have the 2 pages, and we have the hinge ready for the third page. And this one, again, I'm going to just take the whole thing off because I can pretty well lay this one on there. And you can flip it over if you want to, make it this way, makes it easier for me for some reason. And now we have 3 pages together. Okay, I have all 12 pages stuck together into a booklet type. And because I want to use all 12 as pages, I don't want to stick this one down to the cover. We have 2 of the extra hinges left, so we had a total of 13 to start with. And I'm going to go ahead and stick this one on the back real quick, just like I was for the pages. Just line it up nice and straight. Pull that tail down and line this up so that it is straight along the edge. Now then, we don't peel this tape off. We're going to leave that until we're ready to put it in the book. And then we'll take this other hinge, and on the front, we're going to put it on the side. So I'm going to peel this off a little bit. And we're going to line this up here on this edge, up to the edge. Get that one straight too. And I may just go ahead and pull most of this paper off here. And there it is. So we have these 2 flaps to attach it into the book. So we leave this tape on. We do not put any tape on the back of these spine edge of the papers. We want to leave that open. And so that's it for today. We've got our pages ready to go. And tomorrow we'll be doing our covers, patterning our covers in the inside of the book, and before we get started on actually making the book, adding our cards. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.